A very good morning, students. This is Rinki Singh. Yet, we are going to move into another chapter of your PT1 syllabus. The chapter name is Dignity of Labor. It is chapter number 4. So, in this chapter, we will be covering certain points. So, the topics that has to be covered in this chapters are about jobs, types of jobs, difference between occupation and profession, and why dignity of labor is important. Well, students, let's understand about the chapter that is dignity of labor. So let's understand the literal meaning of dignity and labor. So dignity can be defined as respect, which we have while owing a certain job. Whereas labor, you all know that labor, they work hard to get a living. So every job is in a criteria of a laborers. So a job is an activity often regular and often performed in exchange for payment. So here this line says that whenever we are doing certain job, we get in return of it money, right? We engage in jobs to earn a living, and from that money, we live our own life. Some of us work in office while some works in a factory. Some run business while some are service holders. So the jobs, there are the list of the jobs. Engineers, doctors, all come into the category of the jobs, and whatever job we do we must be proud of it. So students, in this slide we are going to learn about types of jobs. So previously I have already mentioned what are the numerous type of jobs. They might be engineers, doctors, wherever you turn around you can get a particular job holders, right, in the form of artists, painters, singers. These all are the jobs, right? So broadly, jobs can be classified as. However, this is not into your syllabus. Still, to take a brief idea, I have mentioned it over here. So there are four categories of the jobs. First one is unskilled jobs. Second is semi-skilled jobs. Third one is skilled jobs. And fourth one is highly skilled jobs. So let's move on to the first part, that is unskilled jobs. Class, the people who take the unskilled jobs, they are more involved into the manual labor, right? For example, coolie, packager. So these all come into the category of unskilled jobs. Next is the semi-skilled jobs. So here a very low skilled job is not required completing a college degree. So that is, they are not very much professional into it, but a kind of specialized training is required, just like the librarian. The third one is skilled jobs. These person, they require special skill, training, knowledge. Like if you talk about the welders, who are the welders? They work into the iron factory, right? They mold into different substances. They mold the iron into the different substances. Mistri, if you see the mason, they come into the skilled jobs. The fourth one is highly skilled jobs. Here a particular degree is required, right? So they come into the highly skilled jobs. Examples are doctors, lawyers. They take a specific degrees into it. In the early and mid 20th century, jobs was classified as white collar jobs and blue collar jobs. So you have to understand what is white collar jobs and what is blue collar job. That is going to take care in the next slide. So students, this is the most important topic of your chapter. So it says white collar and blue collar job. So let's understand more about it. First one is the blue collared job. So these are the people, those who does the manual work, right? For example, laborers. So the coolies, they come into the category of blue collar job. Let's move into the white collar job. So a white collar job is work that does not require manual work and usually takes place in an office. This may involve sitting at a desk or working with a computer, right? So engineers, doctors, they all come into the white collar job. And the second differentiation in blue collar job and white collar job is the blue collar jobs people, they do not have that much of professions or degree, you can call it, but white collar job, they require a lot of skilled qualification. Let's move into the difference between occupation and profession. So occupation students, let's understand what actually the occupation is. It is an activity undertaken by a person to earn his livelihood. So whatever occupation, whatever job is done by a person, it is to earn a living. So it can be business, profession, or employment that a person undertakes to make money. So the importance is why occupation is important, so that he or she can earn money. But if you talk about profession, it is an activity that requires specialized training, knowledge, qualification, and skills. So without appropriate degree, specific qualification, you cannot take a profession degree. For example, a doctor, until and unless he clears his exam, the professional degree into it, he won't be considered as a doctor. So here we are going to learn about profession and occupation. So here is the definition of profession, which says a profession requires a degree or completed studies at a university or other institution of higher education. It involves extensive training and special knowledge. Examples of professions are accountant, architect, doctor, engineer, lawyer, teacher. You need a degree to work in these areas. Similarly, if you move into the occupation, an occupation is the job you are paid to do. It is the way you earn a living. So here, occupation means that you are simply doing a job so that you can earn a living. So now we have moved into the last point, and that is why dignity of labor is important. So class, I have already told you before proceeding with the chapter the definition of dignity and a labor. So dignity means having or giving respect, and labor means a people who works to earn their living. So normally it is seen that few handful of people, they normally say that the blue collar job is not that worthy. But this is not so, because if those are equally important, though those people also play equal importance in the society. So it's all jobs are equally important and valuable. Role of labor in our society is very valuable. That's why we should always respect the dignity of labor. Here is a few famous quote by Mahatma Gandhi, who says, I call myself a laborer because I take pride in calling myself a spinner, weaver, farmer, and scavenger. So all the blue collar jobs, he was dignified into it because he was feeling proud to be the part of those blue collared jobs. Thank you, students, for understanding the chapter.